Hello to the viewers out there. I'm Thomas Dickens, uh, president of Mesozoic Incorporated, who has been a special visual effects company doing special visual effects in Los Angeles for 21 years. And just wanted to say hi to the folks out there and worked on many different projects over the years. But we also are a production company. We've produced two films. One is a avant-garde Bauhaus type film called Faces. It's a great film to play at around Halloween time or any time of the year. It's a crazy art film with some experimentation involved, which is not a typical commercially driven film. It was kind of inspired by Andy Warhol type film projects where you get an idea and you film it without as much thought as most films have going into them these days. Gives a chance to just make a film just for the sake of filmmaking. It was also partially inspired by some interviews, one from Sam Raimi saying to go out and just, if you want to be a filmmaker, shoot movies. So we made Faces, and very interesting film. If you want, it's available on DVD as well as Blu-ray. Actually, even before Faces, first film produced was actually not produced by the company Mesozoic Inc. It was produced by another company called AlienGrey Zone-X 1B LLC, which is a Nevada company. But Mesozoic Incorporated is handling all the post-production and visual effects for AlienGrey Zone-X. And AlienGrey Zone-X was a story that I wrote the script for, and it's a long story as to how it all came about. Maybe we'll get into it one time. But that was actually my first film, as far as also directing the film. And most of the film was shot in Red Rocks, Nevada, right next to Las Vegas. It was a pleasure shooting there, and we had a great time shooting the film. Parts were shot in Los Angeles, some at Pear Blossom Highway out at Devil's Punch Bowl, and others right here in metropolitan Los Angeles, where some interiors were shot. And the film has literally hundreds of special visual effects shots in it, which is more CGI shots than any independent film, which is one reason why it's taken a long time to complete it. However, it's actually still in production, and we are working on it all the time, on the many different visual effects sequences, as well as sound design. Editing continues towards completion of the film. At this point, it's a bit of a labor of love. We just continue to work on it. It's such a great project, and it's got so much going for it. And we believe that when the film is done, the fans are going to love it. It's been inspired by, again, some of the early films by Sam Raimi, Ray Harryhausen's films, as well as some of the early Star Trek, the original episodes, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. These are all films that I grew up watching, or shows I grew up watching, and was influenced by them. It changed my life, including the original King Kong, and it inspired the film AlienGrey Zone-X to be written and then directed by myself. And it's still in production. Here at Mesozoic, we would love to produce many more films, including one prequel to AlienGrey Zone-X, and 3 sequels. Also, I think it's such a great project. It could easily spawn fantastic video games, as well as perhaps an entire television show similar to something like V or like X-Files. but with a bit more visual effects and a bit more mystique into the whole concept. Gets quite into a lot of societal issues, but it's also a lot of fun. It's a visual effects oriented film, so it's visually interesting to watch. Harkening back a bit, like I said, to some of the older science fiction films, though, such as stuff by Ray Harryhausen, which was just a real lot of fun to go to the theater and watch. Of course, the films of today are equally amazing. Fantastic effects that are just unbeatable, unbelievable in some of the modern films. Transformers, Jurassic Park, um, 2012, Avatar. Just incredible effects beyond belief. Although those films also had quite a bit of budget, and just literally hundreds, sometimes thousands of employees working on these films for years. AlienGrey Zone-X is extremely low budget, or I'd like to almost call no budget production. And hopefully one day that will change. We'll get some investors or funding to create some of these projects and bring up the level even higher and get them done quicker and make a quicker turnaround towards more productions per year. The original goal was to create about 2 to 3 Z budget films, like extremely low budget films per year, and 1 B budget film per year, and then gear up towards doing more than that, like maybe 2 or 3 B budget films a year, and then you start working towards higher budget B films, eventually hopefully towards A budget films. But it's difficult to compete with Hollywood. They've got the whole system down, and we're a smaller operation, and just all the creativity is there, all the drive is there. We work towards this goal every day. But the funding of $400 million to make films like Avatar is just not here. We'd have to remove 3 or 4 zeros off the end of that budget to get to where our budgets are. Again, it's right now it's done a lot for the labor of love, and however, the quality must be as high as it can possibly be. I would hope that some of my mentors, such as Ray Harryhausen and Willis O'Brien, would be proud. We're doing many similar types of effects. Now we can have moving cameras, shooting plates. We usually track the plate with a lot of shot. Every shot in the film is almost every shot in the film is handheld, similar to a Cloverfield type look, and we're able to track the motion of the camera using synth eyes, and then using Lightwave 3D and other programs, we can put in the CG creatures, then composite it in After Effects, and just pretty similar to some of the dynamation techniques that were used. Although we don't use a rear screen to animate in front of it. It's not stop motion, it's computer animation. But I would hope that some of my mentors would be happy with what's in this film, and was certainly inspired by some of those. And again, Mesozoic Incorporated wishes everyone the best. Let me know if you're interested in this video. If you are, we'll continue to make more. We can get into many discussions about Mesozoic Incorporated, people getting involved with future films. Let us know. We are in Los Angeles, centered in Los Angeles, and the goal is to make many science fiction, adventure, fantasy films, and move this along quite quickly. We'd love to work with people with integrity, real high quality people who are interested in making films, and as well as other projects, media projects, music, video games, television, it's all here.